Welcome back to more Guild Wars 2, folks. Today we're going to be going to the plains of Ashford. Now, this is being the Charr starting area. You would get some more history on the Charr, and that this war with humanity is over their homeland. Apparently this is where the Charr used to live, and then the humans at some point kicked them out.
Smokestead lies outside the Black Citadel on land we took back from the humans. It's our base of operations for further expansion into this region. We're pressing east and north, facing resistance from the Flame Legion and an infestation of Ascalonian ghosts. The legions need every soldier to do his or her part.
As you travel, you'll encounter magical Asuran waypoints that you can use, for a small fee, to rapidly travel around the world. Finally, I'm confident you'll find many challenges that will test your mettle and improve your skill.
Straight from the scout's mouth. I mean, seriously. This is actually one of the more interesting plot points in Guild Wars 2 itself. Because in Guild Wars 1, as I've mentioned previously, we were humanity. We were human. There was no other race to choose from, and the Charr were the bad guys who were trying to take over your city. Apparently we didn't succeed. But, to complete this quest, the first one we gotta kill some Flame Legion, pretty much. Also launched unexploded mortar shells that suddenly explode when tossed, but I didn't design the shells, I don't know. But always pick up this waypoint. It's very easy to miss, believe it or not. Even with it being on your minimap, it's very easy to miss. Now, there is one more thing we can do to assist us in completing the quest. See, there's a mortar over there that is not currently manned. We can launch it.
At ease.
Also, one of the more interesting things is that the Charr are always looking for the next new technology. They're always experimenting, always testing. Very much like the Asurans, but on a much more militaristic level. Now, I got stuck here in a dynamic event while completing the objective. Wasn't particularly hard. Actually, it just summoned a bunch of Flame Legion, and you just had to kill them. Unfortunately, I disconnected, due to internet problems, but it was easy enough. Also, go north. This is going to come back to, I shan't say bite us, but there's something I forgot up here that we'll have to come back for next video. Regardless of that, we now have to head south to that thing in front of us. It's called the scrapyard. It's apparently where a lot of old machines and parts and things are. A lot of dynamic events are going to be happening, oddly, with this beginning portion of the level. Very easy to do. It's always under siege by the Flame Legion, who, by the way, are one of the 4 legions of the Charr. I probably mentioned this last video with the Black Citadel. But the Flame Legion are the outcasts. I'm personally not very familiar with the lore of it, but I do know Flame Legions look down upon for probably good reasons. I'm not gonna lie, there's probably good reasons for it. But, to complete this quest, we have to apparently resurrect some of the workers. There's also lazy workers you can motivate, set traps, kill Flame Legion if they happen to show up, which they do show up from time to time. And apparently, sometimes piles of gears. And kill rats. And oozes. Because that's just how it works. And with that, the quest is complete. Like I said, fairly easy, fairly straightforward. Easy enough. Now we just have to continue over to the east, and we will encounter the next few early level quests. Now, apparently, even though these guys are very much into their industry and their war making, they don't want their lakes heavily polluted, which, why would you? That's just silly. So we're gonna have to do some helping there. Empty some traps, kill some drakes, clean up some oil spills. You know, typical things you would do. I'm not sure how we're cleaning up the oil, but we are cleaning up oil spills. Also, reviving fishermen, also very useful, but boring enough.
Welcome to the real Ashford. This land's been ravaged by humans for centuries. We intend to reclaim it from their ghosts and finally have our homeland back. These hills are treacherous, so get ready to do your part for the legions. You are an important cog in the machine.
Indeed we are. Now, this next quest is interesting, because we can go a couple of ways with it. As usual, disable beacons, summon some flaming elemental things. Easy enough. And venture into this cave, which is occupied, of course, by Flame Legion. Now, what I'm going to do is something I do to try and help speed up the map. We could always, of course, continue backwards and out, because that's the way it's kind of set up for you to go, or we can take this particular cave, or its relative brother, to go around and then circle back, which is what we are going to be doing. Now, being as high level as I am, and probably also being warrior, this particular thing doesn't pose too much of a threat. None of these things really do. It's just how it works. Like I said, it could be that I'm severely over-leveled for the area, which I'll tell you flat out I am, and thus I'm over-equipped. But you have Flame Legion, and over here you have Forest Spiders. Spiders are the interesting fellas, in that they can supposedly poison you. I haven't had that happen, because they die so fast. But, hey, if you're actually appropriately leveled, it might actually be a problem. Now, this next quest is interesting. Apparently we have to kill ghosts, which, the problem with ghosts is they always come back. There's also some Grawl involved, but they just bounce around and are generally a minor nuisance, nothing major. Now, this quest is actually further along the quest chain, I would say, in the area than you would expect, but we're helping the Blood Legion. And nothing bad can ever come from helping the Blood Legion. Now, the fighters, the Ascalonian fighters, are a nuisance. Just gonna tell you flat out, they're a nuisance because they can block. Just flat out a nuisance. Now, I'm gonna get very fortunate here in that there was a dynamic event that really helped me complete this quest even faster. Now you're going to notice I missed that waypoint behind me, and, well, that's not going to come back to bite us, we'll have to get it anyway. But it is of annoyance, actually. And here I was trying to figure out where I'm supposed to go. We're actually supposed to go this way.
I pass this along to the pale tree.
Because over here is an old estate that is currently under control of the ghosts. The Charr don't hold it, the ghosts do. We're supposed to kill the ghosts, and do a variety of other tasks. It's easier to kill the ghosts, or, as we'll see later, there's something else we can kill. Because for the life of me, there's other things that I just don't understand how to do. Things that, other than lighting torches. Lighting torches is easy. Now, this is the other thing they can kill. Elementals. Earth elementals in specific. They're not particularly hard, just avoid their rock wall they summon. And you'll be good. Now, here is one of the more interesting waypoints in the game. It's almost always under direct contest because it's in a tomb. Ghosts. Tombs, you get the idea. But you have to grab it. There's also a point of interest way down here, and this is the one time, I'm going to tell you guys, the one time that there were not ghosts in this area, and there were oozes. This is the only time I've ever seen this happen. As usual, there's always a veteran or two. It's just a minor annoyance. If you're level appropriate gear for this area, you'll probably want to bring a friend or two. Other than that, you could probably just run and get this point of interest, but regardless, if the ghosts aren't up, don't make them come back. Okay? Because they bring forth a lot of things that are actually very deadly to groups as well as individuals. Now you may be wondering why I'm heading back. Well, there's multiple reasons, as we'll see next video. I've actually missed a couple of points of interest again. Silly me. But mainly this waypoint here is going to be very, very, very useful just in navigating this area. We have a quest to do down here. And again, this is an unusual turn of events for me because this is the first time something has happened. Again, there's a waypoint down here that is almost always contested. I actually have no clue what's back there. I've never actually been back there, I do believe. But this waypoint down here, you see that camp? This is the first time I've ever had this camp be here and this waypoint not be contested. It confused the daylights out of me. So I was like,
what's here?
Normally there's ghosts. Normally I kill the ghosts to complete the quest. What am I gonna do? Well, the first thing I'm gonna do is there's a ghost over here I might as well kill. Avoid the hyenas. They're an annoyance. Actually, the real annoyance are the Escalonian peasants because they run away when they get on low health. And you can't just kill them straight up, so it's just an annoyance. Now, down here, we're going to complete the quest. A lot of ghosts, easy enough to kill, really. And this is when I started actually reading the description over here. The quest description, because I was like, there's not enough ghosts. What am I gonna do? Well, apparently we can topple old Escalonian statues. And yes, you can do this while being a human being. I'm not sure the moral implications of that, you know, tearing down the vestiges of humanity. Just doesn't seem quite right. But as we continued on, there's a veteran and a small group of enemies. The only annoying part is the constantly being knocked down. As you can see, he's doing literally no damage to me. So it's not dangerous unless you're low level. And as you would expect, there are some rewards for this. Nice rewards, but nothing to get too excited over. Now back at the waypoint, I noticed that I missed something. Walking through the camp, I missed the point of interest. And my word, that's something we should not forget ever. Always get your points of interest the first time through, otherwise you'll be backtracking. I blame this on the time difference between my practice run and this run. I'm just a little rusty. Back in the tomb, we're heading out. Mainly because it was the fastest way there. Seriously, always get as many waypoints as possible. Even if you're just here to quickly do the quests, get the waypoints. Seriously.
Our legions have plenty of work around here for idle paws. The Temporus and Exterminatus encampments can use every able-bodied soldier to help us clear the ghosts and tame these lands again for Charr. Be on guard for Flame Legion raiding parties out there, and pitch in where you can.
Now this is the first time we ever get two camps that are named. And they're rather interesting. Now, we've already done, as you can tell, the one quest for the Blood Legion, which is the, I couldn't tell you which camp it is, but it's one of the two camps. But we have the other one down here, which is the more interesting quest, I would say. The one has you just killing ghosts. Whoop-de-dee-doo. The other one, Flame Legion. Flame Legion are always more fun. Why are they more fun? Well, because they sit out in the bloody open to be killed. No, seriously. You'll see. Also, this is the first time I've ever seen an NPC just kinda down. Well, none of his buddies came to revive him. It's kind of weird. See what I mean? In the distance, those are two Flame Legion. Yeah. And that thing off to the left, remember that? That's a Flame Legion power source. Just out in the open. The Flame Legion makes no attempt to hide itself. It's weird. But it also makes them very interesting. Disable the source. A small flaming thing appears. It dies in 4 hits. Easy enough. Now, as you continue straight forward, you'll come to this point. Now, this point is interesting in that I think I'm going to just ignore it and continue forward. Because there's a point of interest we have to get that involves the Flame Legion. Bats are an annoyance, but they die very, very quickly. Like I said, Flame Legion just kind of out in the open, just kind of doing their own thing. But the point of interest we want is up to our right. So we're going to have to just kill some Flame Legion to get through. Now we're just outside the quest zone, I think, so it's just a minor annoyance. But not too far out. We just have to pop in here very quickly. And then we can leave. Easy enough. Also, don't slide down the mountain sideways. It actually hurts a little. Now we are going to be hitting up that waypoint in front of us and then continuing forward, because there are some more things we can do. As you can guess by that Drake just kind of waddling off, we are going to be doing some rather interesting things. We have to capture drakes and minotaurs and battle in the arena. Interestingly enough. But first, let's try and get the Ashford Forum a little bit more explored. Specifically, the other waypoint. This place just has a lot of waypoints, and many of them are just close to the point of being too close. Also, magic snow. Suddenly snowman. What can I say? I love me some snowman.
The German Priory is searching for artifacts in the ruins of Ascalon City, but the human ghosts that roam the area stand in our way. We do what we can to stop them from attacking us, but it is only a matter of time before they reappear, and we are only so many.
As you can see, that waypoint I missed, way up north, will come back to be just a minor problem. But, either way, we have to talk to this person over here, the quest giver.
Make it quick.
To get her experimental musket. Oh, the experimental musket. Now, this only works on drakes and minotaurs, and either one will work. Personally, I would do the minotaurs. There's just more minotaurs than there are drakes. But get them down on health and then use a net. Now, this literally functions exactly like a rifle. It's literally a rifle. So just take your time, go at them. As you can see, they don't actually give you that much towards the next goal. But you could literally do it till they're done. I did something very stupid here. I chose the hard difficulty because, well, I did the medium ones and they weren't that hard. These minotaurs, they have some damage resistance. Plus, they're 2 levels higher than you. This makes them difficult. Not impossible, as you can see, but difficult. Fortunately, my seed turrets distracted most of them. That helped more than you can imagine. Also, so did the NPC. And that actually gave you more towards completion than the capturing of animals. I honestly don't know why. But that's the way it's currently balanced. Now, when it says separatist, it means human separatists. Not everyone's happy with, the Queen of Kryta. Kill the separatists. Complete the quest. They are gonna come back, folks. That's all I can say. The separatists, are an important point. And it gives you just enough time to get out before it asks you again to do something. But, folks, I will see you next time as we continue our quest towards the completion of the Plains of Ashford. This is Stomping Llama, signing out.